and welcome along to the Invincible podcast, brought to you today by NordVPN. Look, if Arteta's doing everything he can to protect Arsenal's tactics from rival managers, you need to be doing the same when it comes to your online life. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro comes in. This feature blocks malware and stops you from landing on dodgy sites. And what's more, NordVPN is giving away AFTV viewers an exclusive offer where you can grab 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Just go to nordvpn.com/AFTV or click the link below and stay protected like Arsenal's back line. And enjoy browsing with peace of mind. And it's all risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. So be sure to check out the deal at nordvpn.com/AFTV. Thank you to NordVPN for powering this video. And I also got to add that I was using NordVPN over in Dubai when I was over there this week, and it's a great feature when you're abroad, trust me. So get it right now. We are back. The Premier League, thankfully, is back, and also Julian and Lee are back as well. And it's just a good feeling that we're going to actually have some proper football to talk about. You know what I mean? No more international breaks between now and the end of this year, which is fantastic news. We can just concentrate on football. And of course, you know what I mean, a chance to get back to the Emirates. I was obviously our studio's right near the Emirates, and driving down towards the ground today, I'm thinking to myself, boy, I ain't even been here for ages. The ground, yeah. We've like.
When was the last time? Was it
the last game was a Liverpool game.
Liverpool,
yeah,
wow.
That was it 22nd of October? Was that 20? Let me check. That's about a month ago, anyway.
Yeah,
that was about the last time we played a Premier League game at the Emirates was about a month ago. All the games have been away from home, so it's going to be great to get back, and it's a really, really difficult one, which we face against Nottingham Forest. Before we get into that game, I want to ask you guys about the news that broke yesterday about Pep Guardiola. A lot of people were thinking that this could be his last season at Manchester City. He's decided to stay for another 2 years as well. Not the maybe 1 year that people thought. It's 2 years. I mean, 1 year with an option from the club to make an extension. So. But the club have sort of been putting, City been putting that message out there that it's 2 years. So they obviously want to keep him for the 2 years. What does that do for Arsenal's chances and everybody else's chances in the Premier League? Because it's interesting, right? Because I heard a lot of managers commentating on it and saying, oh, this is good news for the Premier League. The fact that, he's one of the best managers in the world, probably the best manager the Premier League's ever seen, and he's staying. The quality of the Premier League. I was thinking to myself, they're all lying, man. If Fina went here, it'd be better, surely. It'd give everybody else more of a chance of winning it. But what do you think, him staying on? Is it good or bad for the league?
Well, I mean, I think there's been a lot of opinion about what that means, not just for the Premier League, but for the outcome of the upcoming case. Because apparently there's no clause in there for relegation. So it's almost that, they've got confidence that they are going to not be penalised, or not going to be penalised severely for what's happening. So it kind of cements the position that Manchester City are going to be a dominant force for many seasons to come.
Yeah, what do you think, Lee?
Yeah, also, I've got my doubts about certain things. I think, he signs a contract, don't necessarily mean you're going to fulfil it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're exactly like what contracts. The one thing about the contract is more, I think Manchester City would want him to stay more than he'd probably want to stay at Man City. So if things did go wrong, he could probably just say, oh, well, I'm not doing it no more. I don't know, I tend to agree with what Julian's saying. I think because he's signing it, everybody thinks that, that's going to be the case for that. And maybe that's why they've done it. I think, look, let's try and make our hand a little bit stronger than what maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it could almost be a double bluff to the Premier League that, look, we believe so much and our manager believes so much that we haven't done anything wrong that we're signing new contracts, business as usual.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be a big PR exercise.
Yeah, but it's the Premier. What we need to understand about this case, right, is the Premier League are bringing the case against City. It's an independent tribunal, so that ain't going to make no difference to them. Whatever their findings are, and that their findings they come out with are going to be the findings they come out with. And as a matter of fact, when you really look on it, there's a lot of pressure on the Premier League to succeed with these charges that they're bringing, because if they don't, they're going to look very, very stupid, because they're the ones who brought the charges against Man City. So I think a lot of people keep saying, oh, the Premier League probably don't want them to be out of the, get relegated or whatever. But I think the Premier League are actually under pressure to succeed in this case, because they're going to look stupid if they don't. So I don't think that's a factor.
Manchester City are as well, Robbie. There's no winners in this, is there? Really, Manchester City, if they come out with everything intact, it's the Premier League. But if they are to get sanctioned and whatever, it ain't a good look for Man City neither, really. So it's a real interesting scenario.
It is interesting. I mean, I've had quite a lot of experience of court cases of this, well, not this exact nature over the last few years, but in these cases, what tends to happen is it doesn't go all the way. There's a negotiated settlement where both parties aren't exactly happy with the outcome, but there's a compromise done behind the scenes. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here, because I can't see how the Premier League are going to get exactly what they want. And as Lee said, I don't think they actually want that either, because ultimately the Premier League thrives and has become the best league in the world because it's the best league in the world, because it has the best teams. And ultimately you can argue how Manchester City became the best team, but they are a great team, and if you take them out of the Premier League, it's going to weaken the league, which isn't good for anyone.
I was over in Dubai this week, and lots of the people over there think that City are going to be all right. Like, they just can't see, obviously the club is owned by Abu Dhabi, which is in the Emirates there, so but a lot of the people over there is very confident that they're going to win the case. But we'll have to wait and see. And of course, Pep Guardiola going to be around for another 2 years.
I'm not disappointed that he ain't saying from when people, you just said about managers or that, I'll prefer him to stay and we take him out than rather we take Man City out without him.
Do you increase the pressure on Mikel Arteta? Because now, look, Guardiola's here. Ruben Amorim's just turned up. That's another top manager up there in Manchester as well. You've got Arne Slot doing a great job at Liverpool. I've heard fans say things like, if Slot wins it before, in his first season, and Arteta couldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So is this put him even under more pressure?
Yeah, I think he's under pressure. I think because of what's gone on so far, and that's, when you said about earlier on, I'm not looking forward to Saturday. I enjoyed last weekend. It was a nice relaxing break. I'm not worried about football, because we're going into the season, we're going back here now where Arsenal have got to start winning games of football, otherwise the pressure is going to be on. And I get a lot of this thing when, they've come second or that. I'll say, well, put your mortgage, put when these people, and I'll say it to them now, if he comes second again, put your mortgage on everything you own on Arsenal to win the league, or would you put everything you've got on Manchester City to win the league? You're going to put it on Manchester City, aren't you? You know what I mean? I would, with Pep and with what they've got and everything like that. So when people say, Arsenal should win the league, no, it's not. Manchester City should win the league, and it's been proved over the years.
They can't win the league every
season. No, they can't.
Even
but
Liverpool did.
They've been doing it.
They can't. And that is the thing. There might be a little slip off with the players just going over the edge, just whatever, just trying to build a new team, which he's done in the past. That's where Liverpool come in and done it, and because there was a time when Man City had to rebuild. If you're not ready to take that mantle, and it's not Arteta, then he's going to come on, and somebody else comes along and does it, he's going to be under serious pressure.
But there's also another aspect to him staying, because he then becomes very much a long-term manager. And if I think back to all the managers that I've seen, not only in the Premier League, in the First Division, is other than Ferguson, all of them might have a period where they're looking really good, but eventually they become a little bit tired in the role, and they get replaced, and then the teams go on and kick on again. And other than Ferguson, even Wenger, I mean, he had a brilliant start, didn't he? Half his career at Arsenal was superb, and you'd say the second half was diminishingly poor. And the same with Mourinho. So many great managers.
George Graham as well.
Yeah, George Graham. People forget that the last few years after he won the league in 91, okay, we won the cups in 93.
There was a drop-off,
there was a
massive
drop-off.
drop-off.
And it could well be that Pep is always going to be a great manager, but maybe he needs a new challenge. And he's had his time, and it might have been a good time for him to leave for City, but it might be a good time for Arsenal for him to stay, because actually the performances of City at the moment are poor in relation to how they've been.
Well, so have ours. We've got a massive game coming up on Saturday. That game is absolutely huge, right? Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Now, when we had this game last year, it looked like, it's a light work game. You know what I mean? It's one of those games that you rock up to and you think, when you walk into the stadium, everyone's saying 3-0, 4, 5, 6. It's not like that this year. This year, we're playing a Nottingham Forest that are in form. I know they lost their last game, but they're in form. They're on exactly the same amount of points as us.
Yeah, we've got better goal
right?
difference.
Yeah, we're above them on goal difference. That's all, right? But they've got the same amount of points as us. They've got a striker in Chris Wood who's on fire. Even on international duty, I think he scored a hat-trick.
He scored for New Zealand, didn't he? Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, right. They've got...
Hopefully he's jet-lagged.
They've got a team that are firing at the moment. This is not an easy game, right? We're at home, but we haven't been at home for a while. There's problems with injuries. We don't know if Saka's going to be fit for the game. There's rumours that he may not make it in time. We're not sure about Declan Rice. We know that Ben White is definitely out. Trossard, will he be fit for the game? There's this recurring problem that we've had this season that we didn't really have last season with injuries to key players keeps coming back and haunting us, right? This game is absolutely huge. I'll put it to you two guys that if we don't win this game, that is it. It's done. It's over. Yeah, that is how important this game is. Got to get, number one, we ain't won a game for... What was the last game we won? That was
Southampton.
Southampton, before the last international break. That was the last game we won. The last game of football Arsenal won. So number one,
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League,
we won at Preston.
Number one, we got to get back to winning ways, right? And number two, we must go on a run. How important is this game? I mean, I think I saw when it comes to the stats around the game, we've got incredible stats. When it comes to playing Nottingham Forest, we've won 6 of our last 7 Premier League games against Nottingham Forest. The only exception was...
we lost to them.
Going for the league.
Last game of the season.
1-0 at City Ground. 1-0 at
City Ground. Party played at right back.
Yeah, we've lost them in a couple of times in the cup as well. So.
But in the league, we've got a great record against them, but this is different, this game.
This is massive.
The pressure is on. We play at 3 o'clock, right? Before City play
and Liverpool play.
Before Liverpool play. This is a chance for Arsenal. Go out there, get back to winning ways. It can go one way or it can go the other way. And draws is no good. A draw in this game also, forget it.
It's the first time in 2 years or over 2 years. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm not looking forward to an Arsenal game. I'll be really honest. The international break, I hate them.
Me too.
But
it was a good break this time,
It was a good break this time. I needed it. Hopefully the players needed it as well, because and this game now, I hear everything and I echo everything you say, we've got to win this game. But I need, as a fan, I need confidence in Arsenal again. They need to, I still believe in them, but I need that backing up. I need that confidence to say, yeah, we're still a good team. We're still in this fight and everything like that. I do believe. Listen, if we scrape a win and it's a win, I'll take it. But what I really want is Arsenal to go there, get the win, play really, really well, put in a performance that they've not done all season, and we walk away out of that ground thinking, whoa, we look much better today, and we can go on to the next game and be focused and be confident in winning that game. At the minute, every game I'm going at the Arsenal at the minute, I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to happen. Last season, the year before that, I was so confident going into games. But this time around, I don't know. If you said to me, Forest are going to win this game, Forest are going to draw this game, Arsenal are going to win it, I'm not going to argue with anybody. I just don't know what's going on with Arsenal at the moment. What I need is is Arsenal to give me my confidence back, and I do believe that they need to put in a performance where we go, wow, look at that. That's what we've been missing. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I think we need to do that. But more important, and I agree, we've got to start winning. We've got to go on a big run now. And if we was to drop points on Saturday, mathematically, I know people will come back to you and say, mathematically, there's still lots to play for. It isn't. It's done. You know what I mean? We're not going to catch that. It's a top 4 race, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very much into stats, but I think the stats that you came out with earlier are meaningless because that's historic. That's games and teams from the last few years. And I think quite a few of those were probably from maybe back in the 90s when Nottingham Forest were in the Premier League then, because there was such a gap. But I think the stats that we should be looking at for this game are the current form. And if you look at Forest now, I think they've got more away points than anyone else bar Liverpool. I think they've got
beat Liverpool, didn't they?
Well,
beat Liverpool.
Well, they beat Liverpool
at Anfield.
Yeah, I think they've got at Anfield. I think they've got 11 points, and Liverpool got 13 points from just away games.
Yeah,
they've got tremendous.
Yeah,
that's an unbelievable.
Nottingham Forest have won 5 of their last 7 on the road, drawn 2. They haven't lost any on the road. Forest are looking to go unbeaten in their first 6 away games in a single top-flight campaign for the first time since 1995-96.
Yeah.
On the road, they've been brilliant.
And they've got an incredible record even in this Premier League season. They're averaging, I think, 1.73 points per game. And if you extrapolate that over the season, they're going to end up with nearly 66 points, which in the last 7 seasons has got them a European place. So they might not be on Premier League winning form, but they've got a massive motivation to get into Europe, to get a European place. But the other thing that I looked at and was really interesting when they played Newcastle was they've got this stat, and you touched upon it, with their striker, and that he's on fire. And I think he's got about 53% of their goals.
Chris Wood.
But what Newcastle did was totally mark the guy out the game. They just concentrated on him. They realised that he was basically the main guy that's scoring the goals, and he had 1 touch in the box in 90 minutes. And I think they've given the blueprint on how to beat them. And you do get teams at the beginning of the season that come from nowhere that aren't expected, such as Forest, and then they get a loss, and then it kind of the wheels come off. It's very much down to confidence.
Let's hope that's what happens on Saturday. The thing is about Forest, where they've been really good, and I think where they've been really good on the road, is their counter-attacking football.
Yeah.
So defend really well. A bit like what Nuno Espirito Santo was at first when he's at Wolves. Not the Tottenham one, but Wolves, where he sets up solid, really good defensively, but then on the counter-attack, good. And in players like Hudson-Odoi, who, really quick, tricky wingers, really difficult to deal with. They've got a very physical team, players like Murillo, good players in midfield, really get in and amongst it. And then on the counter-attack, they've been deadly, like you said. And Chris Wood has been on the end of stuff and really been putting it away. It's going to be a difficult task for Arsenal. But it's a game we have to win. And our record, it's just to remind ourselves, Arsenal winless in their last 4 Premier League games, drawn 2, lost 2. As many times as they failed to win in their previous 25 combined, where they won 21, drew 3 and lost 1. The Gunners haven't had a longer run without a win since a run of 7 between November and December in 2020.
That's when he lost his job, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
he probably would have done if there'd been a crowd.
Have to get back to winning ways, Arsenal. Have to get back. We can talk about the runs we've had. We can talk about injuries. None of that is going to wash.
And sending offs.
And sending offs. None of that's going to wash in this game, right? No excuses, no matter how valid they are going to wash. We have to win this game. This is a must-win game for Arsenal. And the performance in the, where we can take a bit of heart is that the performance against Chelsea, who are a very good side, was a lot better than what we've seen in recent games.
The performance against Liverpool was really good as well.
Yeah, I
haven't
think
been that bad.
I think the game against Chelsea, in the context of what it was, I think was taken out of our. It wasn't as bad as performance as people have made it out. We didn't play. Chelsea are quite on form. They're third in the league. They're above us at the minute. If you go to a team that's third in the league away from home, that's always going to be a difficult game. And I think everybody expected, Arsenal got to win this and got to win this. We was all in that same thing. I've looked back at that game. I'll tell you what, we was unlucky. We should have probably gone on and won that game. But they were a decent side, Chelsea. Chelsea are no walkover.
No, they're a very good side.
So I think at the end of the day, it might be, and people go on ridiculous, it might be a point game at the end of the
It's not ridiculous, it is a point game.
It might be. At the moment,
But we drew there last year.
Yeah, people are going like it's 2 points dropped at this moment in time. And I think maybe come the end of the season, that's what I'm hoping. We'll look back at it and go, do you remember that point at Chelsea? That was because
the funny thing is that we drew there.
Yeah, it was a lot worse. We played a lot worse.
We were losing 2-0.
So it was terrible that game.
It was only the last 20 minutes.
We got away with it.
Yeah, we got away with that. We really did get away with that.
We played a lot better this season than last season. But because we was on a run, no one turned around and mentioned that. But
this game needs, like you said, Lee, this game needs something to lift the fans are down at the moment.
Yeah.
Fans are really down, you know what I mean, and depressed, you know what I mean? They're like, like you said, a lot of us enjoyed the international break just to just free our minds of Arsenal. And this is going to be a tough game, as I said, and the injury situation's not great again. You know what I mean? Saka,
Trossard I can't see playing.
Trossard, Saka.
There's rumours he won't be playing.
Yeah, and I mean, we know how important he is to Arsenal's team. If he doesn't make it, who comes in? Because is it Jesus or is it Sterling? I mean, Jesus hasn't been pulling up trees, and Sterling, for some reason, never seems to get a game. I mean, I'm starting to wonder why we even bothered to even get him in the first place. Who, for you, comes in?
Well, for me, Jesus comes in, and Martinelli and Sterling would have to share that role, which Trossard and Martinelli have been sharing, And I think that these guys now, we talk about Arsenal, we talk about Mikel Arteta under pressure and all that, This for me now is not about. It's about the players now. The players have got to come to the fore now. The likes of Jesus, the likes of Sterling. Trossard ain't going to be there, so he looks to do then he's 70 minutes of Martinelli, and then he brings on Trossard, who done very, very well at Chelsea, when he come on. But that's where Sterling's got to come into it now, and these guys have got to make an impact. There's certain players that are carrying us through all the time. You know what I mean? Saka carrying us through, like Partey at the moment. These guys have got to come to the front. And they're just not doing it. I look at Jesus and I'm desperate for him to do well, and he's just not doing it. But they've had a nice little break themselves,
He's had a break every time.
Yeah,
and he ain't done nothing.
You've got to come in at some stage and do it. For me, Saka is vital that he plays in this game. He
might not make it.
Well, the thing is with Saka at the moment, he seems to be getting a knock, and we're sort of wheeling him out there to do it. You don't want to be doing that, what I mean? You want him to be 100% fit and tearing down things and everything like that. He does get, again, on the game against Chelsea, he does get roughed up a bit, but that's part and parcel of being a good player. You will get roughed up, and to be honest, he takes it. He is getting a lot more. He gets kicks a lot more than a lot of other players, but Grealish gets the same. Man City. So, listen, that team sheet, if he's on it, I'm going to be a little bit more confident. But I don't know about you guys, but I'll certainly be going into the game nervous if he's playing or not. So if he's not, I'm not confident that Jesus or Sterling can come in and be the guy that we want him to be.
Yeah. If he ain't there, who for you would you put in?
I'd put Jesus there, but I know that we're kind of talking about injuries at the moment and looking at the negative, and everyone's depressed. But for me, I always like to look at the positives. And one player that isn't injured now is Odegaard. And for me, he's the player that makes us tick.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's back and he can make everything gel. It's not just about how he sort of creates chances, but the fact that he organises the press. He also gains his possession, and he's defensive. He's like one of our best defensive players by being up there and sort of defending from the front. And I think that so much revolves around him.
And he's had a couple of weeks, I think, with him having a couple of weeks not going on international duty, working on his fitness, because he played the whole game against Chelsea, literally. He played the whole game, didn't he?
Yeah,
he played the whole game.
Incredible.
So now, hopefully, he should be back to, nearing proper fitness.
Yeah, and he's had one full game, which he looked terrific in. Quite often after that, players, maybe in their second game, they're getting through their first game with a lot of adrenaline. Second game, it isn't there. And they tail off a bit after injury. I remember it happened with Jesus. Remember when he was back for that 20 minutes? He looked terrific, didn't he?
Yeah.
After the knee injury, and then he kind of just diminished a little bit. But the fact Odegaard didn't have to. I know he went to Norway for about an hour, didn't he? And then
come back. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and then came back. He's had 2 weeks to recuperate and get back into that fitness again. And the ankle doesn't just suddenly become better. You need to carry on strengthening it. And I think we'll see the benefits there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all right, that's very true. He's vital. We saw that against Chelsea, how important he is. But I'm still worried about that wing side. If Saka's out, for me, I don't know if I put Jesus in.
Who would you put?
I think I'd go Sterling. I think it's time to let this guy play. I mean, we saw he played a little bit against Bournemouth. He looked okay.
That's the last time we see him.
Yeah, he looked okay. He hasn't played since. And I'm just wondering to myself,
didn't he?
I didn't see him in Preston.
Didn't he?
He played against Preston.
He played.
When he missed those chances, he played all right in that game.
Yeah, but
he wasn't brilliant.
Nah, he wasn't.
But right now, we need, like you said, one of those players to step up. I'm looking at the two of them, right? I've not seen nothing from Jesus. He's overthinking it. He's overplaying. I don't know if he's, both of those two, if they do play, if Saka's not fit, they have to step up. There's no point in them being around, right? If they can't come in if he's injured. That was the whole point. The whole point of Sterling is all right, that's a bit of cover. If something happens to Saka, I've seen the guy played. He's not even come on for Saka. It's just been a really weird situation for me. Then the other thing that I'm worried about now is the right back situation. Because obviously no Ben White, he's out. We know we're not going to see him until the new year. There's no Tomiyasu, right?
I think he could be fit, right? Tomiyasu.
Timber could play there. But then the left-hand side, as I said, very quick wingers, Nottingham Forest have. Is this a game for we have Zinchenko in there? Or, will he maybe go say to, I'm going to put Timber there on the left-hand side, and then what I don't want to see happen,
I was just about to say that. I think that's what's going to happen.
And I don't want to see that.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Partey?
Yeah, I think someone's Partey.
I think the reason why they've allowed Ben White to have the operation when he did was because Calafiore's coming back.
But is he back yet?
I think he will.
This is
back.
a big game, Julian. This game
is. Look,
Julian,
they're all big games.
Do you think that they can wait? They've waited for an operation. Now they're saying it's 10 to 12 weeks. If you've got an operation that's 10 to 12 weeks, it must be a serious.
He's had this issue since the summer. It's not an issue that's just happened. They've been managing him the whole season. They've chosen the optimum time for him to have that operation. Now, I do understand that part of it being the optimum time was at the beginning of an international break to give it, you get that extra 2 weeks.
Summer would have been good.
Well, but they didn't. The thing is with operations, you don't want to go under the knife unless you really have to. So you want to look at every other alternative until you decide there is no other alternative. And they've decided that probably, I would have thought, a few weeks ago. And they've looked at the optimum time to do it. And I think it was combined with the international break and the fact that you've got the players coming back. And for me, the best left back is Calafiore. And I believe he'll be back on Saturday.
Even Calafiore's had a lot of problems against really quick, tricky wingers.
Everyone's going to have problems against
I agree that
quick tricky wingers.
They're good players, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I hope one of them's back. Like, I think Tomiyasu has got to come back at some stage. And
straight into a game like this?
No,
it's still only Nottingham Forest, isn't it? They're not.
It's not. See, there you go again.
They are the best.
He's done it. He's done it, Robert. He's done it.
We're not playing.
They
ain't learned his lesson.
They haven't lost an away game this season.
Yes.
They went to Anfield, beat them. The only team to beat Liverpool.
Only Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Is just
It's only Forest.
It's only Forest.
That's the
But
mistake.
compared with-
Thank God.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta's not like you, where he looks down at teams, right? Because this team they got the same
good.
points as us.
I have gone
so
through
right
the stats.
now, at this moment in this time, they're as good as us. They've got the same amount of points as us. They went to Anfield and won.
Yeah.
They've taken big scalps this
They
season.
have.
They
Only
play
Nottingham
well against
Forest.
big sides. This is a very tough game. We have to approach this game like we approached that Liverpool game. We need to approach this game like we approached that Chelsea game. These are the levels. They went to Chelsea. They got a draw as well. They're a good side.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous
And we
game.
have to approach every team like that. But ultimately, they are an average team playing well, playing above themselves.
They're
at the
not an
moment.
average team. They're a good side.
If you look at how
They've proven this season
if you
they've
look
been
at
a
how
good
they've
side.
over the course of a few seasons.
Yeah, but you said earlier on.
You said that's
don't-
history.
That's history.
Yes.
You said that's history
But
because
you
then we
like
can
to
go
look
back and
here
look at our
and now.
record. We're on about now,
and the
Julie.
here and now.
The here and now,
all right,
they're a good side.
They're a good
all
side.
right, if you talk about their most recent history, they got beaten by Newcastle because Newcastle had.
Yeah, so did we.
Yes, we did. But
Well, then, I mean, so it's
our
similar.
if you look at our last games, you can.
They
have
drew
the
with
most recent-
Chelsea. We drew with Chelsea. They lost to
beat Liverpool,
Newcastle.
we didn't.
We lost to Newcastle. They beat Liverpool. We didn't beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool at Anfield. No
Okay,
team's done that this
on
season.
recent form,
it's a dangerous
we are
game.
very similar. But on the last game, Newcastle worked them out.
Well, for me, I think that if Calafiori's fit, I would play him like
Yeah,
that.
I
But
would
if
as well.
but if he's not, or he's not 100% fit, then I think you've got to go Timber on the right back position and bring in Shinchenko.
I agree. I agree. If he's not fit, Zinchenko on that left hand side and on the right hand side, Timber. I don't want to see Partey.
No,
I don't.
Partey-
I've got a feeling
Partey's
that he
too
might.
important. Partey's too important. If we do that, I get to the ground, I see that, I'm a bit of a worried man.
Yeah,
and especially if Rice isn't playing, you want Partey in that midfield.
yeah. I think that if Rice is, they might. If Rice isn't playing, it's then I don't think that'll happen. I think like if everybody's fit, like I'm looking at, he's got Marino, Rice,
play Jorginho there, couldn't he?
Jorginho. I think at the end of the day, he will look at it and go, do you know what? I've got more midfield players. I can and maybe put him out there. For me, if everybody's fit, Marino has to sit out, in my opinion. But you know, I don't want him catering. It's a little bit. I do think it is him. Like I can get somebody else.
He has got 3
in.
games this week. He's going to have 3 games every week.
Every week now, so you're going to have to. So for me, yeah, like you could say, like for me, Partey plays on Saturday, and maybe Rice and Marino play on Tuesday. I don't know,
or he might want to hold Rice back for the West Ham game. That's going to be really important. And one thing they haven't said about Rice is they've said he's got a broken toe, but which toe is it on which foot? Because that's going to have an impact.
I think it's his right foot, wasn't it? Because he took his.
But which toe is it?
I don't know. Shall I ring him and ask him? You know what I mean?
Well, if it's on his right foot, it's his right foot, the toe in his right
Yeah,
foot.
but
isn't
there's
it?
5 toes.
How many feet he got?
No, but how many toes you got? You've got 5 toes, and it makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
Makes
What do
a
you
big
think?
difference.
What do you mean? Like if it's his big toe, it's
Well, if it's a big toe, it's got to be much worse than like maybe a little one in the middle. You don't want it to be the outside one. That's probably more
I'd
painful.
imagine if the middle one is the one that you
want
could
it to be.
you would want it to be like, you know, from experience.
Have you broke your toes?
Yeah, I'll show you. I've got several like middles where I broke it, but I was able to play on it, like, you know.
Is that
but
'cause you're so tough?
No, it's not. I just lost all feeling in it, like, you know. But like, obviously, he had that. Must have had some sort of injection because he couldn't carry it on. But is 2 weeks long enough for that to heal?
Yeah.
You don't want someone stamping on it, do you?
Do you know what? And it's always
I
the
can
way.
see that Yates, you know, that
Yeah,
Yates.
It's
I
always
can
the
see
way.
it
If you've got a
stepping
little toe injury or something like that, it's always, for some unknown reason, that's where you get kicked and touched. You know what I mean? Like if you've got a bad finger, you bang your finger. It's
And that could be the reason why Mikel hasn't announced which toe it is. They're keeping that secret so that the opposition don't target the toe. Yeah, you
Let's
can laugh,
target.
but
That's
Step on both of them.
I mean, there is like Vinnie Jones would just walk up over. Is it your right now? Well, I'll just do both. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that again. Though I'm going to say it now. If he's not 100% fit, I wouldn't play.
Yeah, we've had a real problem with injuries this season, isn't it? When you think about it, like we've had a lot of key players out being injured, it's not helped us at all.
No.
And, you know, but as
We've
I
had
said,
one every international break we've had. Like,
and
it was
international
Odegaard,
break
Saka, now Trossard.
I think I saw a table where they said I think we're 4th in the injury table this season of the most injuries of any team, right? So we have had a lot to cope with there. And as you said, the international break, Saka went down in the international break, Odegaard went down in it, Trossard's gone down in this one now. I mean, thank God there's no more. Until
I couldn't sleep properly, like, you know, because it was about 1:45 that the Brazil game was going. I was going, and I'm thinking,
Did you watch it?
No, but I can't watch those sort of games.
Did you watch any of the international games?
No,
I didn't watch any.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch them. Like, I'm not really that. I just wanted a week away from football. And I really enjoyed it.
I actually got invited corporate to the England game
and didn't go.
Well, I had some other plans which I couldn't really get out of, but I wasn't that fussed.
Yeah,
I was more fussed about missing the food. Food's good at Wembley.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. The food tomorrow doesn't matter. It will taste bitter if we don't win this game, and this is a vital game.
Do you think we will win?
Yeah, of course.
You're 100% confident.
I'm always 100% confident.
You know what?
Can I ask
a bit like you, Lee. If I start seeing a team with Saka missing, this missing, that missing, I'll start to get worried about this game.
I'd like to know why you're 100% confident, because I'd love to be like that. I'm not really looking forward to the game tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm looking forward. I just
want us to win.
I'm looking forward to it because it's the first time.
What gives you the 100%?
I'm glad that we're playing at home. We haven't been there for ages. I think the crowd are going to be really up for it. I am looking forward to the game, but I want to see. I need something to lift the confidence. I'll tell you, the only thing that's really kind of given me a little bit of thing is the fact that, and I think this was so important that Forest lost that last game against Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think if they'd have won that game and they come flying into this game on the form they've been in, but the fact that they lost that game is going to knock them a bit.
And how they lost.
Now they're facing, they got 3, was it 3-0?
No, it's
3-1.
1-0 up. And they're 1-0 up.
But it was how they...
Yeah, and they kind of got taken apart a bit.
Well, it was how they combated Forest's tactics of just taking out Chris Wood. They realised, and it's obvious from the stats, I think it was like 53.3% of their goals comes from Chris Wood. There's only
have to look after him good though. He's very good player this season. He's very physical. He's good in the air. You know what I mean? And he's in the. Unlike what we've had,
players that are good in the air.
Yeah, unlike what we've had, is that
him.
sort of player that's in the box, like they're sniffing out those chances. We ain't had that. That's another thing. I want to see Kai Havertz play like what we saw against Chelsea. As a centre forward.
And Kai Havertz is...
Not dropping into midfield. None of this hybrid crap.
Kai Havertz is...
He's a better player than Chris Woods.
Yeah, of course he is. And he's got to deliver now.
But we ain't even been in the box when chances are being delivered.
He's got to do... I'm a big... Everybody knows I'm a big Kai Havertz fan, but I've been disappointed with him the last few weeks. Disappointed that he never took that penalty the other week.
That was
really poor. And from that moment on, he's not... he scored at Preston with a great goal.
About that?
It's just so poor. Like,
what game was that? Was it a Champions League game?
Yeah, it was 1-0 up. He's the main man, you know what I mean? He had the record of scoring the goals, getting 9 consecutive goals.
Shakhtar, wasn't it? Shakhtar.
Yeah. And he let Trossard have it and missed it. And I just think that if you're the main guy, you've got to be. There's pressure on scoring. Be selfish. And when you're not like that, how can you be a goal-hungry striker? And he isn't. That's the weakest part of his game. You know what I mean? I think he's fantastic. But we need him to be on the end of chances of scoring goals.
Yeah.
And then like that will give... Because every time you hear anybody comes in at this moment in time, and it's been on this week with... We need a striker. We wasn't saying that towards the end of last season when we was on that run, because he was banging in goals left, right and centre. He needs to be doing that and to take that pressure off. Because you've got that target on your back as a number 9, even though you're a false 9 or whatever. You've got to score goals.
It's about goals. People don't look at it and say, "Oh, false 9."
They don't.
How many goals did you score?
Yeah.
And they don't look at it and go...
Mikel Arteta's not helped him this season, though, the way he's been playing him. He hasn't helped the guy.
Mikel Arteta has made lots of mistakes with the
he's not helped him.
injury.
He's not been playing him in the... that Chelsea game was the first... And he was a threat all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he was a handful. He was a threat. He nearly scored that goal at the end. He had a goal disallowed.
And we played better.
He was threatening in that game. Whereas in other games, it's just been like, where are you? Like, where's the striker? At Newcastle, like, where's he playing? Man's playing in midfield.
Yeah.
Man's like deep as Declan Rice.
Yeah, and
I'm like, what's going on?
But it is a mentality thing. It sort of dawned on me about, when you've been talking about this penalty thing, is that as a striker, as a player, you want to score any opportunity. That is the glory of
grabbing that ball off
glory of
Trossard.
football, that you can score. I remember when I played, I even took penalties when I was in goal.
Well,
Remember that game earlier this season when Nicholas Jackson was fighting with Cole Palmer?
Yeah.
Because the man's like, I'm a striker, even though Cole Palmer was right. Cole Palmer always scores the penalty, so he has to take it. But the guy's like, I'm a striker, I'm so desperate, I want to take it. I want to see that from Havertz as well.
And the thing is with Havertz, which really annoyed me about it, is that you know that Saka's your main penalty taker, right? That's fair enough. You know that he's the main penalty taker. He's not there.
He wasn't on the pitch.
Right, so straight away you're thinking, right, okay, Odegaard's probably the second one. He's not on the pitch. So you're looking at that and you're thinking to yourself, right, and I don't care what anybody says, you get 15 goals, right? Say if it's Harry Kane or Alan Shearer or even Ian Wright. We'll talk about Ian Wright because you got Ian Wright's got 15 goals. You don't turn around and go, yeah, but 6 of those are penalties, Ian.
Yeah.
You don't say that.
Yeah.
So he should have took that, scored that, and I believe that takes a little bit more pressure off of him because he has to score. I think he does so much more than just score goals, but everybody looks at it. You're a striker. What is the thing you do as a striker? I don't care. Oh, I've assisted 5 goals for so-and-so, so-and-so. How many goals you got?
Yeah, but there is a counter-argument, which I've just thought of. If we take ourselves back to Bournemouth last season, his good form started when Odegaard gave up the opportunity to give him the penalty, and then everything sort of fitted. So, and Trossard was kind of, his form wasn't that great at the time, and maybe he was trying to return the compliment. And if he'd scored and then Trossard had gone on, you could have argued it the other way.
Yeah, but I'll go back to that game. It's a great counter.
About 3-0 up in that game.
He was not at that moment in time. He was not the number 9. He was playing in midfield, so they're trying to boost his confidence. We're talking about a player now that.
But Odegaard gave it up.
Yeah, but Odegaard's not shot in confidence. Or
and we were winning 3-0,
like.
I think, at the time.
But at the end of the day, if Jesus was on that pitch and hadn't scored for 5-6 games, I think they may have gone down that route with him. But he was in midfield. Listen, and I don't care. I know for a fact that Ian Wright wouldn't be giving it. Oh, Paul, you ain't scored for 4 games. Go on, you have it. No way.
But then the other side to that is when Ian Wright was there, Ian Wright scored all the goals, but the team suffered because of it. You look at what happened to Alan Smith and Kevin. Their roles changed and they almost became the support act for Ian Wright, and the team didn't do as well when Ian Wright arrived. Yes, he was fabulous and he was a great striker, but the team as a whole, I think, didn't score as many goals.
Yeah, and there's arguments for it, but when I'm looking at it, you've got a number 9 up front, as we have at the minute. We're lacking a little bit of goals. Everybody's saying we need a striker. You know what I mean? I think even all of us 3 here would say, yeah, we probably do.
Yeah.
You've got your striker. He's got an opportunity to score from 12 yards. So no real pressure on it because it's the Champions League. It's not like a last minute.
And we're 1-0 up.
And we're 1-0 up. You're going for the record. I'm sorry. I just feel
that taken it.
And that's the other thing. We're not scoring enough goals, and we need to start.
I'm disappointed with him.
Yeah,
I'm going to say disappointed.
We need to start scoring goals, and you do need your main players to step up. I mean, Salah stepped up for Liverpool. He's scoring goals every week. Haaland's been.
Would he give up a penalty?
For City? You must be joking, right?
No, Salah. Would he give up a penalty?
No, he's not giving up no penalty. He's scoring every week. Haaland's scoring every week. Chris Wood has been scoring every week. And I mean, those teams, you need your main guys to step up. I don't want to see him playing in midfield. I don't want to see him be hungry. I don't want to see him be, like you said, be a killer. Yeah, you do need to be selfish when you're a striker. Stop this. Cut this out, man. We need to be clinical in that game. We need to be on it in that game. We need to give those players to give the fans a lift. Get the fans believing again. Go out there, get a good win in. Get the fans believing again. You know what? Actually, that was what we've been waiting to see for a while. Right, now we go West Ham. Went there last year, won 6-0. They're on a bit of a downer at the moment. Let's go and get a win there. 2 in the back. Right, confidence is lifted now.
Man United.
Who's next? Man United at home. Right, big game. Let's be really up for that. Get a win against United at home. Wow, all of a sudden,
we're winning.
If that happens,
we're back on track.
Right, but all of a sudden, you know, what I mean, people, the talk is completely different, and the vibe is completely different to what we're feeling at the moment.
We're in a position at the moment, I think, and I'll be really honest with all three of us. We all feel that we've all been getting a lot of stick, by the way, for being like a little bit too positive. We all do believe
it's in vogue. It's in vogue to be negative.
But we all do believe,
and angry.
We all do believe that we still got a chance. I still believe we've got a chance.
Slim chance, but we got a chance.
I wouldn't say a slim chance. We have a chance.
But right, we're all a little bit unsure. We need confidence.
But
we need something to.
We're unsure when we're 5 points ahead of City.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is at this moment in time, as much as like positive as we have been, we still need that little bit of a confidence boost from the players and the manager.
Tough time being an Arsenal fan at this moment in time.
We need that.
Every time I see opposition fans saying you're going to win the league, and it's a laugh after it.
But I'll tell you what,
they're mocking us.
You want to come out of the stadium. I want to come out of that stadium on at Saturday, 3-0, 4-0 winners, chest out. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, that's what we need.
That's what I need.
And those players. Fans need it, and those players need it as well, because they've got a run of games coming up that are winnable games, but they're only winnable if you're bouncing into those games with confidence.
Yeah.
And whoever's players are injured or whoever's coming, they've got to step up as well. That's the other thing. I'm getting annoyed with these players that are coming in, right? And they're not stepping up to the plate. Jesus, Sterling, Marino, all of them. Whoever you are,
Marino played well against Chelsea when
he did. He did, to be fair, in that game. But whoever you are coming in as well, you better step up tomorrow. You know what I mean, we can't always be relying on the same guys.
It's a great point, and I was watching.
Played well against Liverpool.
I was watching a thing the other day of a documentary about Everton, like, you know, with ours, and all the top players are going, we wouldn't have never won the league without Harper and Richardson. Never would have won it, and they was not regulars. They was the ones that come in and for the job, and everything like that.
We had it last year with Trossard when he came in.
How many games this season as a substitute? I've done it. So, like, you know, how many games as a substitute this season has come on and made an impact in a game for us? I think 2.
So which 2 would you say?
Trossard against Aston Villa, and Wanyeri against Leicester.
Yeah.
And now name me another. There might be another one, but like, no, it's come on as substitute. Thought, we've won that game because he's come on and changed the game.
No one.
Last year, it was loads that done it. You know, even Nelson come on and done it, and players like. But I don't think that this time any substitute other than those 2 games, we was, you know, even that Leicester game, you think, oh no, it's going against us. And he come on and he just lifted the crowd and just got us over the line. Trossard definitely against Villa, but I haven't seen no one else come on and go, wow, and all of a sudden change it.
And not even just on about coming on. I'm on about if you get your chance. If
you start and do it,
You start that game, you show the manager why you should be, you know, give the manager a problem. Give the manager a problem. If it's Sterling and you start in that game, give the manager, let people be saying, why are you playing him from, if it's Jesus, show people that you're back.
Wanyeri's the only one that's done that.
Wanyeri's the only one. So we need a performance and a result from that Arsenal team at home in front of our own fans. We need that, and if we're not going to get that,
but I think you're looking at that question purely from an offensive point of view, because as fans you kind of see the exciting stuff, but I'm thinking the substitution at halftime for Man City when they brought Ben White on, I think that had a massive impact.
Yeah, he came on win the game though.
He didn't win the game, but it still had a massive impact.
I know what you're saying, but
it might not have been an exciting impact that's notable to everyone, but for me, I think of that one.
I get that, but like, you know, sometimes in games it's a game-changing moments that you need, like, you know, and it is more the attacking side. I am looking at, like, come on, let's be really honest, like Sterling, Jesus, they've played in League Cup games. They've not really gone, right, you're the man, you know what I mean? They've come on and not really done, you know, Sterling's last performance as a starter, he was taken off after 20 minutes. We haven't seen him since. These guys have got to step up. I agree with you with Marino. I thought he come on against Chelsea and
I thought it was good against Liverpool.
Looked good. Yeah. I don't think.
And again, he's coming back from an injury and he's playing in an unstable midfield.
See right now, all that coming back from injury, this, that. People don't want to hear it.
Well, you might not want to hear it, but they are reasons.
There are reasons, but those reasons are no longer going to wash.
No,
people want to see that game.
I agree. You cannot turn around at the end of the season and say, "Oh, we didn't win the league because we didn't have this and didn't have that." You can't be having excuses. These guys have got to step up. Marino is fit.
Yeah.
So that means he's got to do the business when he comes on, like he did against Chelsea, and he stepped up against Liverpool and done a good job in there, So he's capable of doing it.
Yeah, he is.
So get
That's
in there
why
and do it.
because he's capable.
All right, guys, predictions. What do you think it's going to end?
3-0 to us.
Oh, do you know what?
3-0.
Yeah, I'm going that and all.
3-0.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. I just think that Arsenal need a performance. That we need that those players have got to show it that they are up for it. There's been a little bit of talk cheap. Prove it now.
Yeah, they've got to get on the front foot right from the start
and really
it.
go with it.
And there's another reason. There's another reason on Forest. Did you hear Nuno's interview after the game? He was kind of, they were the better team. He wasn't angry. It's almost like they've done really well. There was no pressure. He wasn't like so when we lose, Arteta comes out. He's angry, and there's excuses. There's reasons. You're blaming certain circumstances. Nuno comes out. He goes, we've done really well. We just got beaten by
first defeat for ages.
Yeah,
that's
but
why.
we got beaten by a better team.
Yeah, you can hold it. Listen, when you're playing well and you have a one-off defeat, you can always react like that. When you haven't won a game since the last international break in the Premier League, which is us. So
if you
no excuses.
If you rewind, I don't agree with that, because if you rewind to last season against Newcastle, it was our first defeat. Now I'm talking about the interview Arteta gave after the game. That was our first defeat of the season, and Arteta came out.
But there was big reasons for that. That was the reasons for that, because there was that goal with the whether it was a push, whether it was the ball out. There was reasons.
But he's a winner, Arteta.
No excuse is going to wash tomorrow. Right? We must win.
That's a great point you just said there. Arteta's a winner.
Yeah.
Right.
And he gets angry when he loses. He's not a good loser, is he?
Well, if he's a winner, he wins tomorrow.
Yeah, of course he does. That's why we win.
Has to win. Of course, we'll have it covered here on AFTV, so make sure you check it out. Big game. Nottingham Forest. If we don't win that game... It's curtains, I'm afraid, guys. That's what I feel for the league. It would require an absolute miracle. Arsenal got to get back to winning ways. Thanks very much to our friends from NordVPN for powering this video. And don't forget, we'll be back next week here with another Invincible podcast. By the way, of course, we're going to be also heading over to Lisbon come Monday. Arsenal taking on Sporting, where we'll be able to get to... run our scouting eyes over Victor Gyökeres, who we're going to come up against.
I'm looking forward to watching.
Right, so that's going to be very interesting, and I'm sure we'll bring you news of how that game went on next week's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.